Everyone ready to talk about where the fuck...
You threw it across the room.
I threw it across the room. Okay.
Jesus H. Christ.
We're putting this right up this piece of shit.
Okay.
The Thirst. Requiem for a Dream meets Near Dark.
What?
I've never heard of Near Dark, but Requiem for a Dream, motherfuckers? This
Now,
movie!
I would like to point out, on this channel, we have talked about Showgirls. We have talked about Chappie. We've talked about some bad movies.
This was up there.
Yeah.
This was comparable in many ways to Birdemic.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as bad as Birdemic because they had decent microphones.
Yeah.
That's about where we draw on the line.
And even that was a little iffy sometimes.
On quality. This is the worst vampire movie I have ever seen.
Yeah.
By a fucking mile.
Like, I would much rather watch Twilight than this.
I mean, oh my god. Matt Kessler, Claire Kramer, Eric Palladino, Adam Baldwin, Serena Scott Thomas, and Jeremy Sisto. This movie...
Shame! Shame!
Okay, so it opens with a prostitute going into the operatic epilepsy room, where the red light is blinking and the opera music is coming out of the phonograph. And the vampire decides to kill her by he very awkwardly, in terms of blocking, has to walk past her in the frame of the camera to grab a lamp, rip the lamp off, and then shove it...
No, he breaks the light bulb.
And then shoves it down her throat, like, in the most awkward way to kill someone. And that's the opening scene.
Yeah.
And then we cut to Claire Kramer, the girl from Buffy.
No, we went
it's
to...
the AA meeting, and then her...
Yeah, the AA meeting first.
Okay, well...
And then Glory dancing.
Yeah, Matt, or whatever his name is at an AA meeting, and he's talking about how his girlfriend is a stripper.
And she's like using and making it hard for him to not use.
And then we cut to her stripping, and she's terrible.
Yeah.
She's awful. And then she's got the consumption. Which is actually cancer, but the point is, she starts bleeding from the mouth, and you're like, what the fuck is this, the 1800s?
Yeah.
And then so she's dying of cancer, and then she dies.
Well, no. Before she dies, we get this amazing scene where he's like doing a break-in on the hospital.
Yeah.
To this, high intensity guitar riff, while he slowly walks his way through the hospital.
Claire, where are you, Claire?
And they're like, they call the security guard and all this shit.
He goes past the hemophiliac girl in a wheelchair.
Yeah.
Which is Chekhov's hemophiliac girl in a wheelchair.
So they have a conversation, and
he is not acting
at
all.
And so she goes, hey dumbass, I've been puking all the time because I'm in chemo, because this is a cancer ward. Did you not see the sign?
Nope, he did not see the sign because he's a dumbass. It is astounding how little acting that man was doing for the first half of the movie. Because once he's a vampire, I don't want to say his acting is better, because it's still really bad acting, but
it's acting.
It's animated. He's doing stuff. But in the first half of the movie, she tells him he has cancer. His face doesn't move a fucking inch. I'm like, react, motherfucker! So then there's the emo funeral, where he reads shitty poetry out of his composition notebook.
And then drops it in with her
coffin.
Yeah.
Then he goes crazy and becomes a hermit.
Yeah.
He grows this beard.
That's well kept.
That is extremely well kept for someone who has been living the life of a bum for long enough for this beard to get that full.
And he's like doing weird things, like putting things that she touched in plastic bags,
Yeah.
and he's just...
Like he takes some hair off of a brush and puts it in a bag. He takes a napkin that she dabbed her lipstick on and puts it in a bag. Like...
Then his friends come in, one of them being Eric
Palladino.
Palladino.
Dr. Dave from ER.
Eric Palladino and this other girl,
Who's dumb as a post.
dumb as a post, come in and they're like, we're taking you out. We're going to the sex dungeon bar.
Yeah.
Where they get in because a gimp on a leash takes a liking to Matt and, like, gives him his card.
Yeah.
Like, slave masters in training. This club is... Okay, imagine if the club in that one scene in The Matrix was really lame. Was really lame and had terrible music.
Yeah, like...
And, then he sees his girlfriend, who's supposed to be dead. Turns out she's a vampire. No, wait, first they go home, and the girl in the backseat starts stripping.
Yeah.
First, like, before they leave, he thinks that he sees her, and they're like, oh, you're crazy.
And
then he records it with his camera phone, or his camera, or whatever it is, and then he watches it.
He goes to the graveyard to dig her up.
And then the fucking weirdest edit happens, where the camera freezes, and then it moves into panel like it's a motherfucking movie maker transition. And it does this 3 times. Like it moves inside of the aspect ratio, breaking the black border. It's so fucking bad. And there was an earlier bit where he's in the hospital, and the camera is just at like a 35-degree angle for no fucking reason.
Oh, God.
Okay, so then he goes back to the club to find her.
Yeah.
And he goes up to the 2nd level, where he thinks she might be. Now, I would think, in a normally structured movie, that 2nd layer would be like the vampire level. But it's not. It's actually just a proper members-only level of a sex club, and the vampires just happen to show up that night.
Yeah.
Because this is not a normally structured movie. So the vampires show up, murder everyone.
Wasting as much blood as possible.
As sloppy as you can possibly imagine.
And they're not even feeding right. Like, they like fed on a guy's back. They pulled some guy's intestines out and was like
stabbed
blood from his intestines. It's just weird.
Everyone's blood shoots out.
In the second time they assault a place, he like rips the back of somebody's skull open and drinks from that.
Yeah, like vampires are discreet as possible, and they're not that messy.
And they like try to hand wave this. I'm skipping ahead a little here. They try and hand wave this by having one of the members of the vampire crew be a Muslim who writes like Arabic terrorist messages in all the places they hit.
Yeah.
Now, I should mention that this Muslim vampire is played by mother-flippin' Adam Baldwin, who apparently is now very Texas and is pale-skinned despite being from the Middle East because he's been out of the sun for so long.
Yeah.
He literally said that in the movie.
That is the actual explanation of why they don't get caught. They have this one guy who knows how to write terroristy messages in Arabic.
Yeah.
Okay, so one of the vampires is his girlfriend, and she gets him out of the club. And the vampires let her.
Yeah.
Like, she just throws him down the stairs. Oh no, an easily breakable door.
Yeah.
But, like an idiot, he follows them to their hideout, which is a Christian summer camp that's currently not being used.
Yeah.
And they, of course, fucking catch him, and he's given the choice of dying or becoming one of them. So he obviously opts for becoming one of them, and his girlfriend, or his dead girlfriend, does the change, which involves taking a huge chunk out of his neck.
She takes a chunk out of his neck about that big, and he loses enough blood to have died in 30 seconds.
But he drank some vampire blood while he was dying, so it's okay, I guess. And then he wakes up, and the fucking weirdest sequence.
Yeah.
He's, like, dancing around in his underwear and, like, doing push-ups, and, like, he puts on a life preserver vest.
There was one where he was riding a pony for some reason.
The idea is that he's now pumped on vampire blood, but it does not come across.
Yeah.
It is very clear the director told him to just fuck around, and they just used whatever footage they had.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tits in this movie, I suppose I should mention.
Yeah, I mean, not as many as Showgirls, but there's a lot.
That's still your,
Yeah, and you get Matt Kessler ass.
Yeah.
because the whole world wanted some of that. Fucking hell.
And yes, that is still my benchmark for tits, because it's kind of hard to catch up to
The
that.
movie is about 40% tits. So, now he's evil.
Yeah,
Evil.
yeah. Now he's just like, he's all like, oh, we should just kill motherfuckers because we can.
Yeah!
I'm not a nerd anymore.
Woo! He loses the glasses. And again, now he's actually acting.
I'm acting.
Loses the glasses, gets a leather jacket and a motorcycle.
He's a badass
He's a
now.
badass.
Yeah, he goes to the papa figure of this family, and is all like, you know.
It's like the motherfucking, like, Godfather with, like, the clutching the face
Yeah.
and the kissing on the forehead.
And he's like, I forget what he says. Like, as long as you keep the blood coming, you won't have no problem from me.
Okay, so I suppose at this point it should be clear that the movie is going for an addict metaphor with the vampirism,
Yeah.
addicted to blood. The movie is not smart enough for its own stupidly on-the-nose metaphor.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing, actually, watching it try to be about something. Because it's not about something.
Yeah, just no.
Like, okay, 2 of the vampire family are, I think, just random Asian girls who never speak and wander around with their, like, arms and backs hunched like they're motherfucking Igor, and they just, like...
Reminds you of the, like, God, what's her name from Pirates of the Caribbean? The, like, voodoo chick.
Oh.
Calypso?
Yeah.
Even worse than
No.
that.
You don't think so?
No, Calypso was actually well done.
No, but, like, the makeup and stuff. Like,
No.
you think they were going for that?
No.
I don't know. It's just
They had like these giant bags under their eyes that came down
Blue.
like halfway their
Yeah,
face.
they had, like, blue highlights around their eyes.
I don't know, but they would like throw up acid before they would bite somebody. It was really
Yeah,
weird.
that was... Yeah, or...
drool acid. I don't
Yeah.
know. It was a clear substance. How about that?
I guess they forgot to color that blood, maybe? Because they certainly had
Or
enough
syrup.
fake blood to go around.
Well, I think they did that. There's a couple times where they had that come out before they
Yeah.
wounded
Yeah.
anybody.
No, I agree with you. It was clearly meant to be coming from them.
Yeah.
Like they're drooling in anticipation, but that's not a thing vampires do.
No, it's
in
not.
any version that I can think of.
Yeah, like.
Okay, his girlfriend, the mother of the family, and the leader of the family, or the guy of the family, stay behind for a threesome, while Matt goes out to feed with the other vampires.
And apparently they go to this bar that he knows the owner.
It's a titty bar. They just go to a titty bar and eat a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Very badly. It's just they're so bad at eating people. You'd think they'd get better at it with practice over time, but apparently not.
Yeah.
It's astounding how little sense this movie makes, scene to scene.
Like, even within the scenes themselves.
Moment to moment, the movie is just... And the soundtrack is, like, the worst shitty nu metal you can think of.
Yeah, like...
Like, we mentioned that guitar riff earlier at the hospital.
Yeah.
It's about that subtle, the whole movie. He brings back someone to the camp.
Yeah, some random ass motherfucker.
and kills the guy in front of his girlfriend and tries to force her to drink the blood, but she doesn't, and then he wanders off and she's like, he's turned into such a monster, and then the camera fucking freezes and it goes all black and white except for a little circle around her mouth. Why? Who approved that edit? Who said, yes, this is meaningful, this means something?
I mean, like, okay, it's one thing when they did that for Rocky, for lips, because that's all you were supposed to see, is the lips.
Some shitty day for night shots later, they invade a hospital for like 5 seconds and kidnap a hemophiliac girl, who apparently can transfer her hemophilia into vampires.
Yeah, apparently that's contagious now.
Oh no, wait, I completely skipped over him going back to his apartment and killing the girl from earlier in the movie.
Oh yeah, because she was high.
She was so high, they were like banging and he tried to turn her into a vampire, but
she didn't understand.
So she just died on his mattress, and then his girlfriend shows up and they like go through a lot of withdrawal for a few hours.
Yeah, like okay, so there's a she's like, oh, we gotta, get rid of the temptation. Like, they're pushing the addiction thing. So she takes the body, wraps it up, and puts it in a car. And then, like...
It's like 5 minutes of them, like, fucking around on a mattress like they're fucking, like...
Yeah, like... And when we say fucking, we don't actually mean fucking. We just mean fucking around. Like, he's sitting there stabbing the mattress.
And she's like...
She's like freaking out on the floor.
Like a fucking squirrel with the stuffing.
And then they're like, they've got the stuffing all over them and they're eating it off of each other.
My brain hurts.
And and then she's like threatening with a knife because he went and banged that girl.
And then the British one shows up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, y'all forgot about them eating the cat, and then they got sick.
Oh right, they ate a cat.
And then they got sick, and he was like, "That's what you." He was like, "That's."
The British guy shows up.
Yeah.
And then he's like, I guess, the enforcer with his knife cane.
He's just the one that they sent.
He's got the knife cane, though, so he carries a weapon with him.
Yeah.
And then they turn quickly, and he accidentally jumps out a window.
Yeah.
That was very anticlimactic. And then he burns in the sunlight, which was suddenly out. No explanation of how that happened.
Yeah, like how long was he in that apartment?
Yeah, seriously, like, you can't travel in the sunlight, so how did you get there and then suddenly the sun is out?
Yeah.
Fuck. All the vampires die, and then they commit suicide in the sunlight.
Yeah.
And that just does not even begin to sum up how shitty this movie was.
Like...
It's incredibly bad.
Like, okay, they compressed more shittiness into, what, 88 minutes?
Audio commentary. I may have to watch that.
To find out what the fuck they were on?
With the writer, producer, and the composer. Okay. Oh, and deleted scenes. Ooh, deleted scenes. What was unworthy of this? What wasn't good enough to be in this movie? Because it wasn't cut for time. The movie's 88 minutes long.
I'm just shocked that they got fucking Eric Palladino, Jeremy Sisto, like, how much money did they offer them, or how desperate were they for work?
Yeah.
That they took this.
Oh god, the script.
No. Oh, and there were a bunch of advertisements for other shitty movies.
Yeah!
Of this.
Like, oh my god.
I can't even remember them now. This movie has, like, wiped my brain of the whole evening.
So every one of them started with a car, a vehicle collision or near collision.
One of them was about Dia de los Muertos.
Yeah.
With zombies,
and
as
then,
I recall.
There was one where the hospital is a prison and they like do weird experiments and shit.
Right, and she's got like no anesthesia while they're experimenting on her or something.
Yeah. And then the third one was like zombies, just Dead and Deader.
Dead and Deader was the
Pain.
Yeah.
Dead and
the title
Deader
of
was
it.
the name of the movie. You're right. Had Armin Shimmerman in it, motherfucker.
Yeah, just fuck.
Oh my! We have stumbled onto an entire universe of shitty movies through Stars Media
Oh god.
that are just worse than the worst sci-fi movies.
Yeah, like
Because you know what? This movie tried too hard. This movie was trying way too fucking hard.
I mean, like you watch Land Shark, they're clearly phoning it in.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. They've got like a stupid name for a movie, and they've got an awful effect.
Yeah.
And that's about all they put the effort into.
Yeah. You know, you go to Sharknado, they put more effort into cameos than actually making a movie.
Yeah, but this is like trying so hard. I mean, they list like 6 different bands on the back.
Yeah.
Featuring the music of Jack the Mad, The Spindles, Rasputina.
Jesus.
Rasputina? Rasputin? I don't
Oh,
fucking care
God.
how you pronounce it. Oh my... Well... What? Dark Water was the shot, this was the chaser.
I guess.
I mean, for the first 20 minutes, I was kind of like enjoying it in a shitty movie way. But
And then it just got worse.
It just
and
kept
worse.
being terrible.
Like, and like, not just like, you know, The Refrigerator had crazy acting and a nonsense story, but had some enjoyable moments. Like, this one, the acting was bad. The filmography was bad.
It was
the editing was bad.
It was grainy. I
Yeah.
can't understand why it was so fucking
They
grainy.
borrowed Japan's cameras from, you know, the mid-90s.
No, that's the worst part. I think it was a stylistic choice. I think they did that on fucking purpose.
And then Eric Palladino's character was in there, then they just never show him again.
Yeah. Almost
Guess
like...
they couldn't afford him.
Yeah, almost like he didn't want to be in the movie. He was the only wise person.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm here for the movie, and then I'm... You know what? He was in the parts of the movie that were fun bad.
Yeah.
Once he was gone, once they went up to the second level of the sex dungeon and the vampires started eating people, like, the sloppiest ways possible, the movie stopped being fun bad.
Yeah.
And just got infuriating.
And it just got worse and worse. The editing, the filmography.
It never got better. Oh, I almost forgot. The motherfucker we're looking at right now, the lead vampire or whatever, couldn't pick a fucking accent.
Yeah.
Couldn't pick a fucking accent
Sometimes
to
he
save
was
his
Russian,
life.
sometimes he was American.
Sometimes he was like hillbilly southern.
Yeah.
God damn it. God damn it. I'm returning Dark Water. I'm holding on to this motherfucker.
We need to subject Jay to this and see what
No,
happens.
no. He's still mad at us for the Reanimator.
But the Reanimator's good!
I know, so what do you think will happen if we show him something legitimately shitty?
Yes.
Wait, is he still mad over the Reanimator?
Or the
Yes!
refrigerator.
He's still mad about the Reanimator. He liked the Refrigerator. In a shitty kind of way. Which is exactly the way you're supposed to enjoy that movie. I don't know what his malfunction is on the Reanimator. That's a good fucking movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was great.
I mean, yeah, it's mostly great because they've got Jeffrey Combs in it from start to finish.
Yeah, and he just makes the damn thing.
He does. Like, that movie could have been so much shittier without him. But he is in it, so it's not. So I don't know, Jay. I don't know what...
I know. I don't think he could have saved this one, though.
Nope. Nothing could have saved this movie. Nothing could have saved this movie. I am so sorry. I am so sorry.
You have brought shame!
It was horrible, but we had fun laughing at it,
At
yelling at it.
At least...
I mean...
At least it wasn't boring.
Yeah, exactly.
God. Fucking shit.
Shame!